Hello, hello. Welcome back to Frozen Prairie Scouting. Really appreciate all the engagement on one of my past videos there. Shocking to see the views. You expect maybe 10, 50. I'm not really expecting anything. Honestly, I'm just doing this for fun. I've loved being in the game. Been out of it for a little bit now, so wanted to just get back in there and kind of show some of my insights from my experiences. So that's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to improve every single time that I do this. I know most of these aren't great, but I'm here to learn. And honestly, I enjoy doing the research. I enjoy watching the players, and I'm like, what am I going to do with it? So I may as well just throw it up here and hopefully some things you like, if some things you don't like. I know I missed a few things on one of those videos, but you know what? I appreciate you guys letting me know, and I just take it as something I can improve upon as I keep growing in this. As you probably noticed, I do this kind of a podcast style. I just makes it a little bit easier for me. I don't have to get looking good or anything like that. So appreciate everything you guys have said, and I hope you find some of this insightful. A lot of this is just my opinion as well. I just I enjoy doing this, so I appreciate everything, guys. Now we're gonna go through 5 first-round sleeper picks for the 2026 NHL Draft. It's actually 4, and then there's one guy who I think is more of just a sleeper pick in total. So that's kind of the way I look at it. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. I'm going to try and cut the videos a little bit shorter here so that you guys don't have to sit around for 40 minutes. Maybe some of you are listening on podcast and kind of style and, appreciate those, but some of them will be longer, some of them will be shorter. My first guy here is Mathis Preston. One of my favorite guys to watch in the WHL, just with his speed and skill. I think he might be up there for one of the fastest players in this class. His edge work, when you watch him kind of come down, either out of a corner or coming down the ice, like he uses his edges a little bit to manipulate space, to create ways to either pass or shoot. And you'll see that with a few of the guys that I talk about here. This is something that I really, really like. You put the D-man on his heels, and with your edges and your adaptability, you can go fast or slow and kind of create the space that you need to do things. Another thing I really like about him, though, is his hands keep up with his feet. And I know that's kind of something silly to say, but a lot of players, like, they're fast, but their hands can't keep up with them, right? So it kind of looks funny sometimes out there, and that's why some of those guys adjust into more of a forechecking role, right? But you see guys like Mathis Preston, who he can manipulate the puck with his hands while he's going at a really high speed, which is deadly on the rush. He has this goal scoring touch too. He doesn't have a heavy shot by any means. Some of them kind of look that way, but he picks corners, and his release is so quick that it keeps the goalie guessing a little bit more. And then going through some of his video, he makes some passes that make you think he has eyes on the back of his head. He actually does really well out of the corners, using his body a little bit, creating some space. He'll look to kind of see what's going to happen, and he can anticipate a little bit of a play that you think he's got eyes on the back of his head. And his point totals, obviously, he switched teams from Spokane to Vancouver, got traded earlier in the year, and then he had a pretty bad injury for a few weeks, but got back, got going. So his point totals aren't where I expected them to be this year. And obviously it hurt his draft stock a little bit, but I still see Mathis, maybe he could sneak into that 21 to 28 slot anywhere at that end of that first round. I think that this is a guy that you got to take a swing on, and he's done very, very well in the international competition as well. He looked fantastic at the Helenka with the Ruck twins, and he looked really good at the U18s after his season was done there too. and I think it helped his stock a bit. Next, I have Maxim Sokolovsky, and his name's been popping up a little bit more here and there. And obviously, defense is a premium position. 6'8" D-men, hard to find as well. And he actually skates pretty decently. Obviously, he's still adapting a bit. He came from, I think he was in an academy before. And so going to London, I think that's a great spot for him. And it looks like he'll be back next year there, which I think will be perfect for him. Playing there, getting the development there, everything that you need. I think this is going to be a really good spot. He's going to take a little bit longer to develop, and defense usually do, but I also find that these really large defensemen take a lot longer as well. One of the things I liked watching a little bit of video on him is he actually holds the line pretty well, and he's not bad at controlling the puck up there either, right? Still a lot of things to develop, but I actually really liked him, and he plays a very physical game. It looks like he enjoys making a nice big hit too. Sometimes puts himself a little bit out of position on that, but I mean, when you're that big, even if you're out of position, you can turn around and just grab a puck usually, right? And I think he's got a lot of runway to grow into himself. Being 6'8" at 16, 17 years old, right? Yeah, that's a lot of growing to do. He reminds me a lot of the London Knights' previous player, Nikita Zadorov. And I think he could turn into something like that as well. One of the things I like about him too is he can chuck him. I would love to see him and Rempe in the future, maybe toss him. And I wouldn't be shocked either to see him sneak into the end of the first round, right? Defense being a premium prospect, guys. With all these teams in the finals here, the final four, right? The teams that have made it the furthest have the biggest teams. So grab a 6'8" guy, develop him, especially if you're one of those teams that have, multiple first round picks here this year. Yeah, these guys been hearing his name kind of popping up a little bit more. And it's for good reason. There's a lot there to like in a player like that. And as I think it was Brian Berg said, you can't teach size. And I think you'll see a little bit of that here as we kind of move forward. Next, I have a player named Adam Anderson, 6'4" center. He's got one of those very projectable games. And what I mean by that is he plays a pro-style game. So he's low and slow, on top of the puck. He doesn't lose his guy in the D zone. Those are the things that I really like. And he's got that defensive center style game, right? You're not going to be, he doesn't put up a lot of points, but he's big, he skates decently, protects the puck well in the corner. There's a lot of things he needs to adjust though. I'd like to see him shoot a little bit more instead of just trying to, make a pass, keep it perimeter. What I want to see from my defensive centerman is always to, take the puck to the net, shoot the puck at the net. Play that north-south game, right? And I think there is a potential 3C on a good team in the NHL here. He forechecks well. He plays a strong game. Obviously, he hasn't got into the SHL yet, but there's things that are there and projectable at the next level. And him playing that premium position, being a big left-handed centerman, you can see him sneaking in, but I think he'll end up being a second-round guy. One of the things I'd like to see, and it looks like right now he's supposed to play U20 for Lexand next year. I would actually like to see a player like him come over in the import draft, especially if it's the WHL or OHL. WHL, I think, would fit his game a little bit more. OHL, I think you might see him add a bit more offense as well. WHL too, but I think just coming over here, getting to that North American style, smaller ice, you'll see his game develop and round out a bit more. Next, Marcus Nordmark, probably one of my favorite players in this class that isn't at the top of top 10, top 15, right? I have him up there. You've seen me already put him to Columbus at 14, right? This guy has top 5, top 3 best hands in the draft. Just a magician with the puck. The way he can, pull it out, pull it in, use his body a little bit, and keep that puck on a string. He's one of my favorite players to watch in this draft. And I don't know where the love is. He's the 8th ranked European skater, and I haven't seen anybody mock him anywhere from the people that I tend to follow and watch. He's got breakaway speed too. You'll watch some of his highlights. He pulls away when he gets that puck. He wants to score. He has that, that mentality. Yes, he's got to add more to his game. Yeah, he can be maybe a little bit immature out there, but he's young. He's good at hockey. Seems to love scoring goals, and those are things that matter in the game. He sets up his teammates. He looked pretty good with Vigo Bjork a few times in the U18s, in the Helenka. He just has a few things you can't teach, right? Ability to control a puck, can force a D-man to make a decision and works off of it. Like his mind works really, really well. He's got that hockey IQ that, he'll adapt to what the D-man's giving him. And he does it very, very quickly. And he's got a bit of that clutch gene. Scored a game-tying goal and a game-winning goal for a gold medal, I believe, at the U18s when I was watching. So, I mean, I'm just shocked he's not higher. And I'm the kind of guy that bets on skill. So, if he's still sitting there at 32, I mean, I'd be running to the podium if I was Ottawa. And if he's still there at the top of the second round, just grab him or trade up and get him. Like, that's the kind of player I see here. Yeah, he's going to have to develop, but he's already playing in the SHL next year. So obviously that shows you what your garden thinks of him. He's played 8 games this year. I mean, he's playing pro in Sweden at 17 years old. It was a little bit much for him, but he's got the IQ, he's got the speed, he's got the skill. I think he's going to have a really good year next year in the SHL. Last but not least, we have Rudolfs Burskalds, forward out of Muskegon. Obviously played Latvia at the World Juniors, scored a big goal against Canada. Got a power forward. One thing he does well is he does drive that inside lane. He'll pass that puck out and he'll drive that inside lane and try and pull that D-man or get a tip. Heavy shot, good one-timer. He's still growing, and he's growing into his game. This is a big guy, power forward, really needs to improve his skating. I wanted to see a bit more offense out of him this year, especially at the USHL level. But he's heading to Boston College next year, which is going to be a really good place for him to play. Him and Hamming will be a lot of fun to watch there. 2 big guys that are, play a similar power forward game. That's going to be a nightmare for teams, right? And I think it's going to put them well when they're up against the NCHC there, the big teams that have done really well. They see, some people say late 3rd, early 4th. I could see him sneaking into the late 2nd round. Watching him, there's some things that make you go, wow, there's a player here. Right now, he just needs to develop, right? And being from Latvia, it's kind of like a guy like this. You get to play on the international stage a little bit quicker than some of these other players, right? So especially as a USHLer. So good for him for staying at Muskegon. I have a lot of respect for the loyalty to the program there, to what he's done. And I really am excited to kind of watch this guy as he makes the jump to the NCAA next year, especially at Boston College, which I'm hoping will turn it around next year. So let me know what you think of this. Again, this is Frozen Prairie Scouting. Like, subscribe. Not that I'm not here to make money or anything, right? But it's kind of fun. We can create a little bit of I love the comments. I like talking to you guys. I love hearing your guys' opinions on what I'm doing, what I'm saying. So let's keep it going. Let's have a lot of fun, and see you guys next time. Thank you.